Hello, how's it going? In today's video, we'll be finishing Chapter 3 of Chronicle Volume 3 with Hunt for the Sunwell and Heralds of Shadow. So let's go! North of Lordaeron, in Quel'Thalas, things were still a bit crap after the Sunwell had been destroyed. When Kael'thas and his peeps did their little ritual thing, the subsequent explosion hadn't destroyed the Sunwell's power, it had scattered its energies across the land. It wasn't long before the red dragon, Corielstrath, noticed this unprotected magic, and he was a little bit worried about it. Mainly, he feared it would draw the attention of differing factions, and they'd probably fight over it. And he was bloody right. But before we continue, just a little heads up here, this story's weird. Malygos, the aspect of magic, had sensed the Sunwell's energies as well. He sent one of his servants, Kalagos, to investigate. Also, the Lich King had sent some ripples. He sent Darkan Drathir, you know, the guy who betrayed the High Elves to the Scourge, to collect this power. So Corielstrath went around the land and gathered every scrap of power he could. He knew he didn't have much time, so he did the most obvious thing. He made a human avatar named Anvina Teague and imbued her with the Sunwell's energy. I mean, that's what everyone would do in that situation, right? He even gave her false memories, including the illusion of a family in her mind. He was hoping she'd escape the notice of anyone hunting the Sunwell's power, and Anvina had no bloody idea what she was. I guess Corielstrath then just kind of looked at her and said, right, bugger off then, because somehow both Kalagos and Darkan soon found Anvina. I assume she was just wandering about aimlessly. However, her true nature remained hidden from them both at first, but Darkan eventually uncovered the truth and abducted her. He took her to the site of the Sunwell itself to try and siphon the power out of the bitch. Corielstrath and Kalagos gave chase, however they were too late. Darkan had already begun to take the power of the Sunwell for himself. With this new power, he forced Corielstrath and Kalagos to have a fight. Just as things looked like they couldn't get any worse, Anvina realised, but Jesus, I am the Sunwell. She realised she was capable of wielding this great power, so she turned to Darkan and was like, have it, and defeated him. Afterwards, Anvina remained in Quel'Thalas under the protection of Lor'themar Theron. Kalagos also stayed with her, living as a half-elf named Kalik. He personally watched over her and kept her presence a secret from the rest of the world for years. But that's enough of that. Meanwhile, in southern Kalimdor, Garona was on the hunt. If you remember from a previous video that was bloody ages ago, she'd discovered Cho'Gall and his Twilight's Hammer cultists, and she'd been sneakily murdering them. And she wasn't going to stop, not until she'd killed that bastard Cho'Gall. And Cho'Gall was furious. He tried setting traps and laying out ambushes, but she was too cunning. Bitch. And it didn't help that the old gods had been whispering, like, what's taking you so long? Hurry up, you twat. So he decided to do something. Something so risky, it just might work. He headed deep into the rainforests of Feralas alone. He knew she wasn't going to pass up an opportunity to attack him when he was seemingly unprotected. And just as he'd suspected, she did. As they grappled, Garona managed to wound Cho'Gall, but it wasn't enough to defeat him, because he punched her in the neck. Also, although Khadgar had managed to unravel the mental shackles around Garona's mind, Cho'Gall knew how to just put them back again. So Garona once again lost her free will, and became Cho'Gall's new pet. Now that she was taken care of, he could return to his original quest, awaken the old gods. Cho'Gall and his followers headed into the sun-scorched desert of Silithus, and when they arrived, he knew he was in the right place. He could sense it. Somewhere beneath the golden sands was an entity, calling, and he heard it whisper in his mind, "Hey fuckface, my name's Cthulhu. Give us a hand, buddy." And we're leaving it there! In the next Volume 3 video, we'll start Chapter 4, which is called Old Hatreds. There's a new world tree, and Orgrimmar gets built. So good stuff. As always, thanks very much to those of you who support the channel as patrons. If anyone would like to support the channel in that way, links in the description. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, all of that bollocks. And all that's left to say is, thanks for watching, and I'm not allowed to say see ya anymore apparently, so see ya!